How's it going, everyone? It's Two Tone, and I want to talk about what's on all of our minds, and that's the impressions from the latest Street Fighter V beta that went live this past weekend. First of all, the netcode was incredible. I experienced no connectivity issues to speak of. The screen transitions were smooth, the graphics were clear, and there was what seemed to be virtually 0% input lag. If there was any at all, it was so minute and insignificant that you would be hard-pressed to blame any losses or mistimed moves on server response. That being said, there were a few issues with matchmaking. On the first day, there seemed to be quite a lot of downtime between matches, and I found myself training for 20 to 40 minutes waiting for an opponent. However, this was really only a minor problem, and we do need to take into consideration that this is still an incomplete beta version of a game that's only about 3/4 of the way through production, and they still have a few kinks to work out in the online play. Capcom actually addressed the issue in a blog post shortly after the beta went live, saying they were not confident that the matchmaking rate would improve significantly throughout the course of the beta period, and that user experiences will vary. While it was awful at first, after the server maintenance period on Friday, matchmaking improved like tenfold, and I was able to get in a lot more fights and with much higher frequency. I think it's safe to say that Capcom has nothing to be ashamed of in that regard, and we can kind of just chalk it up to normal hiccups on launch. As far as the game itself, I was very impressed. I actually missed out on the first beta, which looking back might not have been a bad thing, considering, the technical difficulties were bananas from what I've heard. Beta number 2 was actually the first time getting my hands on the game, and I have to say, wow. I dig it. The characters were well designed, the voice acting is pretty damn good, and I didn't really notice any off-the-wall problems within the gameplay itself. What I did notice was the lack of anyone playing the new characters. I played Ken and Karen for the entire beta, so I might be somewhat of a hypocrite, but I only saw one other Karen amidst a sea of Kens and Nikalis, and I didn't fight even one Rashid. I'm not sure if it's a lack of interest or that these characters were only available for a short-ish time frame, but what I would have very much liked to see is a few more of those characters. There was really only one discrepancy I spotted within the game itself, and it's a little weird. It has to do with some of Karen's attacks. I'm not certain that this was a beta-wide problem or maybe something with my connection, but here, just have a quick listen. So it seems that sometimes when she doesn't move, you get a sort of echo effect of her voice, and it mostly happened during Mugen Kyaku. I'm sure that if this is a bug of some sort, it won't be in the final product. In fact, Capcom has likely already taken notice of it, so I'm not incredibly concerned. It was just something that jumped out at me. Other than those minor problems, I have to say that the game itself is looking great in graphics and in overall feel. The characters seem fleshed out and at least close to complete. It's got kind of a Frankenstein crockpot of Third Strike, Street Fighter IV, and the Alpha Series elements, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. And the best part about it, unlike Street Fighter IV, is that there's a market ability to play this game however you want. The game doesn't seem to reward one fighting style over another, so offensive, defensive, whatever you have, this game caters to all forms of play. Which brings me to my last point, which is a double-edged sword of sorts. I've played fighting games for a long time, exclusively the Street Fighter series, and Street Fighter V, to me, at this moment, seems almost too easy to play. I understand that maybe Capcom wanted to make it so it wasn't such of a daunting task for new players to enjoy the game or to do long combos with relative ease, but for the veteran players who were looking for, a deep, pick-it-apart type of fighter with advanced tactics and exploits and all that, it's a tad disappointing. The idea that it will be easier for new players doesn't take into account that the old players who can translate their skills from previous titles into the new one with some semblance of ease means that new players are still in danger of being ripped to shreds and learning just how cruel competitive play can be. Once again, this is an unfinished product, and there is a huge chance that these things will work themselves out once the game is released. All in all, I found it to be unbelievably fun, and I'm looking forward to a possible third beta period in the future and a hopefully early spring release date fingers crossed. What do you guys think? Was your beta experience good or bad? Maybe you think they need some improvements or that the ease of play is a good thing? Leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks again, guys, and if you found this video helpful, give it a like, and for more Street Fighter V and other games, be sure to subscribe to Brave or Grave. I will be doing a few more videos like this one, particularly another Karen analysis as sort of a retrospective to the one I made when she was first revealed, with my new impressions having played her in the beta. This is Two Tone, and I'll see you guys later.